Όσοι έκαναν την ίδια πρόβλεψη απλά εκτίμησαν λάθος. Ο Αριέλ Σαρών παραμένει στα πολιτικά πράγματα και το 1998, κατόπιν της αποτυχίας του Λικούντ στις εκλογές, ο Νετανιάχου παραιτείται και αναλαμβάνει ο σημερινός υποψήφιος. Ποια όμως μπορεί να είναι η σχέση του Αριέλ Σαρών με μια ειρηνευτική πρωτοβουλία?
Barak offered the opportunity of sharing Jerusalem. I don't think Sharon would agree to that. The Clinton proposals involve concessions in the Jordan Valley. They involve other concessions that Barak probably would agree to, but that Sharon will not. So I don't think Sharon will say, no, we're not talking anymore, but he will say, yeah, we can talk, but my position is not Barak's position. Also, if the violence continues, I think Sharon will take a tougher position on that.
Sharon is an unpredictable person. Just as I wouldn't be surprised if he gives up the Jordan Valley, I will not be surprised if he involves us in a war.
The contrary. There won't be war, because the only thing that will be that we will say, these are our red lines, and Sharon will say, I will not continue a one-sided concession way. I am going to change the whole idea of how to get peace. And therefore, it's not Sharon of Lebanon, which is a question about it, what was exactly in Lebanon.
So the main fear of people from Sharon is that he will do it again, that he will take the country again to a war which the country doesn't want. And if you ask, I mean, by the way, how come that so many Israelis are afraid of Sharon and yet 60 or 70% are going to elect him, according to the latest opinion polls? The answer is that the Israelis are not for Sharon but against Barak by now. And what appears to be the election of Sharon is actually the result of the fact that Israelis are fed up with Barak.
I know Mr. Barak made a lot of mistakes, but he's far better for all the region than Mr. Sharon, that we know that it will lead for war. I'm afraid to say that he will lead for war. I don't see, if he will be the prime minister, this region will be in a very, very bad situation. That's what I think. This is, I don't believe that a man that was a man of war will be, after the 6th of February, a man of peace.
Barak is a small general. Sharon is a big general. Barak wants to give them things what they never was below to them. We didn't take land from Palestinian. We take the land from the Jordani. They should to tell us thank you very much that we make them free from the Jordan.
First of all, I'd like to say that I think that both people who are supporting Barak and Sharon want one thing, peace. It's the one thing that we all want is peace. The problem is I think we have a different idea of how to get it.
صورة واحدة لعملتين يعني نفس الشيء فيش فرق بين هذا وهذا.
And I'm not expecting any change. I think this will be the same because they are treating our people here as we are feeling as a second class here. Okay, that's what I can say.
Βεβαίως η πραγματικότητα διαφέρει αρκετά από την προεκλογική εκστρατεία των κομμάτων και τα πάντα αναμένεται να κριθούν στους πρώτους μήνες ανάληψης των καθηκόντων από τον Αριέλ Σαρών. Με δεδομένο όμως το τι θα επιθυμούσαν οι Παλαιστίνοι για τη λήξη της κρίσης, τα πράγματα δυσκολεύουν.
Very simple and very clear an Israeli willingness to end completely their military occupation to whatever that was occupied since 1967.
Όσοι όμως γνωρίζουν καλά τον Αριέλ Σαρών, αφήνουν τη φαντασία τους να δουλέψει δίχως περιορισμούς.
I think what we can say is if he should hold to his current opinions and if the Arabs should hold to their current opinions, there is no chance whatsoever that this will result in peace.
Η Μέση Ανατολή αποτελεί την περιοχή των εκπλήξεων και την έκπληξη τη συγκεκριμένη περίοδο αποτελεί ο Αριέλ Σαρών.
If you had asked anybody in this country 4 months ago, whether any such possibility existed, they would look at you in surprise that you even thought that they could possibly think of such a likelihood.
Who was a journalist at the time and also his top aide, said by then to the New York Times, those who didn't want Sharon as chief of staff. I mean, actually what he said was like this. I said before, 20 years ago, that those who don't want Sharon as chief of staff would get him as defense minister. And now I'm telling you that those who didn't want Sharon as defense minister and had him fired will have him as prime minister. And when he said that, there was a big laugh. But what Sharon once said, actually 10 years later, is that the Israeli politics is like a roller coaster. You know, a roller coaster? It doesn't matter if you're up or down, as long as you're on the roller coaster. And when you're on the roller coaster, even if you're down, you know that someday you'll be up. And although, you know, 50 days ago it seemed like a joke that Sharon would ever become the prime minister, now, you know, the roller coaster is up again. And with it, the roller coaster of the Middle East, of course.
Ο Ariel Sharon είναι αναμφισβήτητα ένα από τα πρόσωπα που απασχόλησαν ποικιλοτρόπως τις εφημερίδες, τα περιοδικά και τους τηλεοπτικούς σταθμούς, όχι μόνο στο Ισραήλ ή τις αραβικές χώρες, αλλά σε ολόκληρο τον κόσμο. Σύμφωνα με τις δημοσκοπήσεις, οι οποίες έλαβαν χώρα το τελευταίο διάστημα, το όνομα το οποίο αναμένεται να ανακοινωθεί σε περίπου 2 ώρες από τώρα για το αξίωμα του Πρωθυπουργού στο Ισραήλ, θα είναι λογικά εκείνο του Ariel Sharon. Τι σημαίνει τώρα αυτό για την Ιντιφάδα των Παλαιστινίων, τι σημαίνει για το Ισραήλ, καθώς επίσης και το τι σημαίνει για τη Μέση Ανατολή γενικότερα, τις απαντήσεις σε όλα αυτά αναμένεται να δώσει ο ίδιος ο Ariel Sharon από τη στιγμή της ανάληψης των καθηκόντων του και έπειτα. Από τη Μέση Ανατολή, για την ελληνική τηλεόραση, Πάνος Χαρίτος.